What's up, world? Let me tell you about this beard growth oil I got from 12 tribes on Earth. 8 ounces of oily goodness with the nozzle that prevents sprays and spills, and soft ingredients that make it perfect addition to anyone's morning routine. From coconut to castor, all these oils are hand chosen. After using this herbal blend, the biggest thing I noticed is how soft, how strong my hair was, and how good I feel. Pick up your bottle today and make your beard the star of the show.
Shalom, family. Good to see everybody here. Hope you're doing well. This morning I got a really strange phone call. Now, when the incoming call was coming in, it had a woman's name. I answered the phone. It was a man with a real thick accent. And he was like, "Oh, I'm calling because there's a problem with your Verizon." And I was like, "What?" At first, I instantly knew it was a scam call. I knew it. And so I hung up. I contacted Verizon, and they were telling me they will make these random scammers, will make these random phone calls. And what they try to do is keep you on the phone long enough to try to pick up your info, like your social media and other apps that you use on a regular basis. They're trying to pick up all of your info. And the lady was telling me from Verizon, she was telling me that what they'll do is they'll use your information to buy cell phones, watches, iPads, and have it delivered to a certain address. And you are the one stuck holding the bill for all this stuff that they try to get. So I didn't stay on long with this guy because number one, I couldn't understand him. His accent was so heavy. I couldn't understand, but I did hear him say Verizon, there's a problem with Verizon. Then he went on talking and I just hung up. I just knew something was not right. And I was like, I barely understand this dude. So y'all be careful. If something don't sound right, get off of the phone immediately. Disconnect the call. They can't get your info. So I was not on there long. It probably was max maybe 5 to 10 seconds. And when I realized something wasn't right, I hung up. So y'all, we're going to talk about something that is occurring in Wyoming. And there's a data center. This is Meta's data center. And, data centers use up a lot of water. I've done other live streams on data centers. And when they put the water back out, they'll use the water and then they will expel the water. The water is very contaminated. Nobody should be using that water at all. And they detected a very deadly bacteria in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And y'all, I don't believe that's the only location. That is the only one we are hearing about. But apparently, this bacteria can unalive you, and it's in the water in Cheyenne, Wyoming. The data centers, let me tell you something, they don't care about you. They don't care if they wipe out a whole town. These people don't care. It's all about the same rich people that we see over and over making a buck at our expense. Okay. And I've already done the videos of where people couldn't even flush their toilets because they used up practically all the water in a town. And when the water do come up, it's all murky, it looks funny, it has a strange odor, those things are happening. But Y'all, just be careful. Be observant, especially if you are near a data center, because nothing good is coming from these data centers. It seems like they are an environmental nightmare. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Oh, and I'm starting to hear some information on Nolan Wells, and I don't know how true it is. Now, they said the forensics was done, but I'm not going to do it because I could not find a lot of info on it. But they're saying there was no water in his lungs, which means he could never have drowned. If that's the case, then they unalived him on land and threw his body into the ocean. That's what it sounds like. But more is going to be coming out. And, Ben Crump, he's still doing some interviews. And from what I understand, y'all, they took his phone and messages were deleted from his phone. Okay, so who deleted the messages? The whole thing, they said, Ben Crump said the stories are not adding up. And I believe that. I sure hope they get to the bottom of it. And I hope they don't let these white boys off the hook. They all need to go to jail. Every last one of them, they all need to go to jail. And I've been listening to some of the white people online talking about it. You know what they're saying? They're saying to the black community, white people are not your friends. They may smile in your face. They may even hang with you for time, and they may even go out with you. But at the end of the day, white people are never your friend. That's what they're saying. This is coming out of the mouth of other white people. And yeah, I mean, they don't care. At the end of the day, they don't care about us. And you get the feeling when you're around around any of them, you get that feeling. They don't give a crap about us. But that's what they're pretty much saying. And they're also advising black parents not to have your kids out there being the only black person. See, now they're saying the same thing I've been saying for years. Even they're saying it is not safe for your child to go somewhere and be the only black person. You should not be any only black friend to any white person. You shouldn't. That should send up a red flag right there. If you are the only black friend they got, get away from them, because nothing good is going to come from it. And I'm astonished with how many of them are coming online and saying that. I might do a live on that so y'all can see for yourself how many of them are saying for us to really stay away from them. They could never really be a true friend to you. Hey, it is what it is. We know in these final days, people are going to confess, y'all. They're going to confess the truth in these final days. All right, so let's stay on the subject matter. I'm the one veering away for Wyoming. All right, y'all. Let's see here. All right, y'all. If you can see my screen, please give me a 1. Thank you. You know, it just brings me back to mind. This is why the Most High told us to separate. You see how valuable separation is. Thank, thank you for the ones.
News, Mark Zuckerberg's AI data center just contaminated a Wyoming town's water system with a rare bacterium. and almost nobody's covering it. So yes, in Cheyenne, Wyoming, which is home to one of Meta's massive AI data center campuses, city officials just confirmed that wastewater from that site carried a rare multi-drug-resistant bacterium called Cupriavidus gilardii, which is one that studies have linked to serious health risks in vulnerable patients. And here's how it happened. So before these cooling systems go live, they run a fill and flush, which is basically hosing out the pipes, and that flush water got dumped straight into Cheyenne's sewer system. It ended up in the reclaimed water Cheyenne uses for parks and golf courses. And the city literally had to shut down its water reuse program for months to clean this up. And they've now banned that contractor from discharging into the system permanently. And this is the trade-off that nobody in big tech wants to talk about. Every time they announce a new AI mega campus, it's always jobs and innovation. But nobody seems to mention the water, the strain on local utilities, or what happens when construction contractors cut corners on an $800 million build. Cheyenne isn't the first town to deal with the data center fallout, and it surely won't be the last.
Meta's new AI data center in Wyoming just got flagged by the city for contaminating its wastewater with a rare bacteria. Let's talk about what actually happened and how worried you should be. Cheyenne's water utility found a bacteria in its reclaimed wastewater system during routine testing. Investigators traced it back to an industrial fill and flush operations from Meta's under construction data center campus used to prep cooling systems. An important detail here, this was in the wastewater and irrigation water, not the city's drinking water. Officials say the tap water supply was not contaminated. This bug is an opportunistic pathogen, dangerous mostly for people with very weak immune systems, and documented infections worldwide are extremely rare. Cheyenne drained and disinfected the affected reuse system and pond and temporarily stopped taking this kind of wastewater from the data center. Meta's contractor lost its discharge privileges while regulators reassess how these mega facilities handle wastewater. So we'll continue to follow this story, provide you the latest.
Yeah, and obviously this corrupt piece of shit trash politician has waived the environmental assessment. Yeah, they have to submit like their detailed plan, right, when they're doing the permits and stuff like that, but they don't have any responsibility to do any follow-up to see what the fuck they're doing to the environment. So these AI centers could literally be poisoning our fucking water, and they don't have any responsibility to have to even check it or let us know. This useless, corrupt government is doing everything in their power to demo this entire fucking province before Danielle Smith gets the boot. I'm telling you, mark my words, once she gets fucking fired, she's probably not even going to live in Alberta anymore. Because how the fuck could you usher in like such a bad environmental impact, seeing what it's doing in other places where they're already set up? How could she be ushering that in and actually think like, yeah, I'm doing good for my home province? I've said this before, and I'm just gonna keep saying it for the rest of my life, I guess, that this fucking stupid bitch doesn't care about us. She doesn't care about our environment. She doesn't care about our home. She doesn't care about our economy. She doesn't care about anything in Alberta. The only thing she cares about her and her fucking circle of friends that are getting fucking rich. That's it. That's all. And all the fucking bootlickers out there, you can pretend and make believe all you want that she actually genuinely cares about you, but she doesn't. She's fucking laughing right in your fucking face because she knows you guys are fucking stupid and your cult is so much more important than anything else. It's fucking pathetic, man.
So apparently, Meta's data center in Wyoming has been pumping drug-resistant bacteria into the town's water system. It's in Cheyenne, where a Meta affiliate company called Goat Systems runs an 800C. Before a data center powers on, it floods its cooling system with water. They call it a fill and flush. Goat Systems flushed that water into Cheyenne's public pipes, and it was carrying something. City workers found it by accident as they were running routine tests for fecal contamination. They hit a pathogen that they never saw. The city's water manager said this isn't something they normally test for, and after a long process, they found out it was Cupriavidus gilardii. It's a rare, multi-drug-resistant bacterium. Infections are extremely rare, and it's been related to 10 deaths, with 3 of those deaths being immunocompromised children. In one review found a 31%. The city traced it back to Meta's discharge and ruled Goat Systems in severe non-compliance. And beyond that, they banned fill and flush discharge from every single data center connected to the city's water system. More.
Hey, what's up, America? Wyoming data center flushed bacteria contaminated water into public sewers during construction. Now, this happened in Cheyenne, Wyoming, as a Meta data center is being built by Mark Zuckerberg. This prompted the city of Cheyenne to implement strict safety regulations on how wastewater from such projects are disposed of now. Now, the bacterium that was found in the water can cause pneumonia and other respiratory illnesses. It was not in the drinking water. I'll be very clear about that. But the bacteria was found in the city's reuse water systems where they use for sprinklers at parks and taking care of gardens and flowers. Now, this data center is estimated to possibly take between 200,000 and 300,000 gallons of water to operate a day. Now, the city of Cheyenne says the reuse water system had to be cleaned from contamination, and that could take months. But now wastewater with that bacterium is being hauled off site. But it looks like these data centers might be dishing out something more than high electricity costs and water usage now.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, y'all. There's probably a lot more going on, and we're not being told about it. Because one thing about these folks, they are masters at trying to hide stuff or just straight up lying to you about a situation. So, unfortunately, if we want to know what's going on, we're going to have to do the digging ourselves. We cannot rely on these folks at all. They're never going to tell the truth about anything. So, yeah, so, that you can say, oh, that's not in the drinking water. I don't trust these people at all. I would not doubt if you go and test the water coming out of people's faucet, I would not be shocked that that bacteria is right there, coming right out of the faucets in these homes. And here in New Jersey, I was looking at some videos, and some people turn on their faucet and nothing comes out because they're right by a data center. Nothing comes out. Or they got to pour water into the toilet in order to flush it, because the water pressure is so low because the data center is just using up all the water. And unfortunately, it's going to be a lot of people experiencing these things where, you're going to be in your home and you should be able to access everything that you're paying for, your electricity, your water, and everything is being taken away. Now, I understand they're saying, oh, well, the water is being used for, sprinkler systems and stuff like that. Yeah, but don't people walk on their lawns all the time? That doesn't reassure me or make me feel better. Don't kids run across the lawn and all that? Come on. No, that don't make me feel better. It should not be out here at all. Whether it's coming through a faucet or through a sprinkler system, it shouldn't be out there at all. Yeah, so just be careful. This place is so corrupt. It can never be trusted. Yeah, it is evil. It is evil because at the end of the day, it's just a bunch of rich people making money at our expense, like it is all the time. And Elon, he got several of them out here. He got a bunch of data centers that he owns out here. And if Elon got his hand in it, something's wrong with it. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. There is one story that I'm really looking at that I think I might do a little later on today. So it's just a matter of me sitting down and putting stuff together so that, I just want to be able to get the subject matter and then get the videos. So y'all be careful out here for real. So have a wonderful afternoon. Don't forget to pick up your hair products and I will see you on my next live. Shalom, family.